you for meeting with me. Here's the resume. Oh, perfect. Thank you. So today we are going to learn more about yourself and why you are interested in the Human Resources Event Coordinator position. I will start with a few questions regarding your educational background as well as work experience, and then move on to other hypothetical questions. So let's begin.
All right, sounds good.
I see that you're a communication studies major. Have you taken any classes in the past that are applicable to this job position?
Well, I've taken advanced public speaking, and that helps us with oral communication, and that really has helped me to open up and I guess just work with our clients and help them develop their skills as well and how they work with their clients.
Okay, great. Public speaking is definitely helpful for the job you'll be doing with us. So I see that you have expertise in organizing and coordinating events. You intern at the Peninsula Park Community Center, right? So can you tell me more about the type of events you have coordinated with them and the outcome of these events?
So one of the events they did was called National Night Out, and it's basically a national night out against crime. And so what you do is you set up food, which is like hot dogs, hamburgers, you set up music, you call different organizations, and I had to call a lot of people. I'm like, are you guys coming? What time are you coming? How many tables and chairs do you need? Like, do you need help with setup? So a lot of, I guess, organizations would come and set up in the park, and the whole park was filled with people and different things like face painting, just like different events. And so it took a lot of effort just to coordinate all the people who are going to participate in this, and then also have a successful outcome, which every year we have probably hundreds of people that show up, and it even makes the news every year. So
wow, so a lot of organizing and coordinating National Night Out. Sounds really interesting. Okay. And regarding developing brochures, a candidate is required to have experience with Microsoft Office. Do you have any experience?
Yes, also at Peninsula. Oftentimes we have events that need advertising. So what we do is we would create either flyers or brochures that we would go and hand out to certain places, or we would hang up either around our vicinity or other places. So we do have advertising, and I would either edit or like refine whatever they wrote. Either sometimes someone else wrote it and I edited it, or I wrote it and someone else edited it. So
great. And have you ever used any other programs?
I generally stick to Microsoft Office.
Okay.
So anything within that.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll be using Microsoft Office the most in this job, so that's great.
I'm open to learning any other programs too. So.
Okay, great. So now that we've talked a little bit about your work experience, I want to hear a little bit more about your leadership experience. By looking at your resume, I see that you have had leadership experience in small groups as well as in other areas. How did you feel about the dynamics from the last group that you were a part of?
Well, I'm currently a part of a group right now, so I wouldn't say it was, but right now I'm the president. I'm working with the worship team, and we constantly have to work on fitting the needs of every person on the team and seeing what they like, what works for them. So oftentimes someone brings in their opinions, and then we talk about how it would work and how the dynamics work, how it would work if we had maybe 2 acoustics, or like just different, I guess, dynamics with the group, and saying, does this person work well with this person, or is it better if they were in this sphere of the group? So we kind of just work that through, and then they bring in other opinions of what we should do as a group, and then we work on that as well.
So considering everybody's
so it's constantly working with people and shifting, and then we do sometimes have conflicts between 2 members, and since I'm the leader, I always have to mediate between the 2. So it's always like, what is in your opinion wrong with what's going on here, and how would you to figure out some kind of solution in order for us to have optimal efficiency.
Okay, great. So it seems that you've had a lot of experience with this by working in the worship team, right? So this job position will require you to do a lot of planning as well. So just like you mentioned, I mean, I see that you've had a lot of experience with that. But what type of activities would you include in our athletes camp and why?
What would be a really neat idea, as I did study up on the kind of the whole, I guess, purpose of these things is for students or athlete students to come in and get to know these coaches and get to know what they're looking for in their future and what they want to see happening in their college careers as well as their professional athletic careers. So it would be really cool when they would come in to almost kind of do this speed dating thing where they would sit there and they would get to meet different coaches and get to ask them any questions. Mm-hmm. We would have icebreakers, obviously, so then to break down the tension of the group, and then you would have them talk about certain things. And I've tried this out with different. Like when I would coordinate events, we would have like this speed dating thing, and it's not necessarily an actual speed dating; it's just people meet people.
Interesting.
So you can meet anyone, not gender related. Yeah. So you would sit across from them and like, okay guys, please ask the person across from you this question, and then they would ask them that question, and they would get to know things, and then oftentimes that question just stimulates more questions, so they get to know different things from their coaches. So we can work on that and seeing what questions could possibly stimulate more ideas for these students to get to know what they want for their future. So that way they have the opportunity to ask everything they want to ask and not feel like they're hindered, or if they're shy or like don't know what to ask, we'll give them ideas in order for them to kind of stem off of that, and then give them the opportunity to walk up to any coach and have like a question-answer session. I mean, there are different events that you can do and just like different games also.
Great idea. I haven't thought about that. Great. All right, so now I'm going to hand you our job description, and I'm going to ask you the following. So hypothetically, if you were to switch roles with me, how do you go with asking a question based on our job description?
I would ask, do you spend more time doing event coordinating, or do you spend more time through the hiring process?
Do you want me to answer that? I feel like you're going to spend an equal amount of time doing both. That's pretty much what the job requires you to do, and you'll have a balance between both of them. So, yeah, great question. That's a really good question. So, now that we've covered all that was in our agenda, is there anything you would like to add?
I wanted to ask, what are the key goals that you have in terms of what you want to accomplish in this next year for your company?
We just want to hire as many, just recruit as many people that are really interested and that fit our job description right now. We want to get a diverse of recruiters from all over the nation and be as successful as possible. Yeah,
sounds great.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else? Thank you so much, Anna. Nice to meet you.